What's going on, boys? It's your boy Saroni Macaroni MMA here back in another video, and today we have a banger of a card builder here, a stat card builder, realistic card builder. I'm making fights that the fans want to see, that people have been asking for, bro. All right, and I'm making this video pretty not. I mean, you could say it's a little soon, but like not too soon, just because 330 is coming right around the corner this Saturday. 331, the whole card has been, announced. We have every fight on there, so it's nothing to build there. So now we have 332 and 333. Two cards that have been, getting a lot of fight news announcements to them. And to me, I just really want to get this, this card build out pretty quickly because, literally like an hour before I started recording this video, another fight got announced, and I'm like, oh my god, now I gotta add this one. So, and I did have a lot of, different other matchups. I will say that so far what they have in 332 is looking nice. It's looking like a nice card. I'm kind of excited. But I am a little bit worried about what they're gonna do for the main event because I'm hearing rumors about Mavsar versus Volk being on 332, along with Peter Yan versus Marab 3 on 332 as like main and co-main. So that leaves 330 or no on three for 333. I'm hearing Marab, Mavsar, Yan, Volk, those fights on there. But for 332, I'm hearing nothing really for the main event. And I will this disclaimer before I say that I did have uh Paulo Costa versus Magomed and Goliath for the interim light heavyweight belt as the main event, but I changed it like kind of like the day before just because I thought like this fight is probably gonna be on here instead, just because it makes sense. And it's a heavily anticipated matchup that people have been waiting for. Two fighters are really good, and two fighters that people like. I mean, one fighter and then, but like the other one, yeah. But anyways, man, let's get straight into it and let's build this card for UC 332. I forgot. It's in Utah, I believe. I believe it's in Utah, yeah. And 333 is in Abu Dhabi. But let's move on and get to it. First, the main event. Everybody's been wanting this fight. That being the current UFC heavyweight champion, Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane, who just decimated Alex Pereira, bro, on the White House card. That was a really, good win for Cyril Gane. That's his best win of his career, obviously. You know, the odds were against him in that fight. A lot of people had Alex Pereira, winning that fight by like a knockout, but it was the opposite, And I was one of the few people I wasn't doubting Cyril Gane's ability in that fight to win, but I did have Alex Pereira winning that. But Alex Pereira looked very sloppy and slow at heavyweight, so it kind of questions, like he didn't really look good at all in that fight. Like he looked slow. He was eating a bunch of shots and then ended up getting finished. But now he's facing Tom Aspinall at the end when he beat Pereira, got the belt and all that. Not the like the heavyweight belt, but like he beat Pereira because Pereira's trying to go for 3 division championships. He was trying, he almost did it, and Cyril Gane beat him for those belts for now. But Cyril Gane at the end of that, he called out Tom Aspinall. He's like, "Yo, Tom Aspinall, I want to get shot at shit. I want that heavyweight belt and all that, blah blah, like whatever." But that's along the lines of what he said. And Tom Aspinall, like I saw a clip of Tom Aspinall saying right after that, like, "Hey, I'm ready. I want to fight you too. Like I'm here for it." So hopefully, what they do is they put this fight as the main event for 332. I'm kind of dead in the UFC just because, like, with the UFC, these past couple of like weeks, like previously before, the South Kill Gamrot fight night, they've been lacking on announcing fights, bro. They've been taking a long time and doing it last minute. I know some fights are on short notice, yes, but in general, there have been a lot of fights that have been announced like late, bro, from a lot of sources and the UFC themselves. When it's like, bro, come on, man. Like you're a billion-dollar company, but you're announcing fights like a week before, or like a couple days, or like what, like the week of the event. It's like, bro, come on. But hopefully this fight should be here. If not, then I would assume it would be for the light heavyweight interim belt. It would be like Magomed versus Paulo, or like they could do Yuri, but like Yuri does not deserve that, bro. But that's a different story. Let's move on to this fight. This fight to me really is gonna be a really good fight. I think it'll be better than the Pereira fight for sure. Because one time Tom Aspinall belongs in heavyweight. He's good at heavyweight. Cyril Gane is a good heavyweight as well. These are guys who have the build. They have the weight, they have the frame, they look for heavyweight, bro. They're not light heavyweights, bro. They don't fight light heavyweight. Alex Brown, on the other hand, is a light heavyweight. To me, a true light heavyweight should not be a heavyweight, bro. I'm sorry. But this fight is a really interesting fight. Obviously they fought before, and Cyril Gane, there's eye pokes and all that, man. Like that's something to watch out for. And I do think in this fight, if he does stuff like that, like commits fouls, back of the head, eye pokes, he's gonna lose points, bro. But I feel like it depends on who the ref is in this fight, bro. If it's Herb Dean, then Cyril Gane's keeping all of it. He's not losing a point, bro. If it's a different ref, like who's a good ref? Like a good ref like Keith Peterson, that's a good ref. Like Mark Goddard, not a bad ref. Then it's like, this fight could be different, bro. And Cyril Gane, like it's not gonna work, bro. Not gonna work here in this fight, bro. But this fight to me, not a one-side fight, very evenly matched fight. Heavyweight has been trash for the past like couple of years. I think I don't even know, man. But it's been bad. Not the first time heavyweight's been bad, but like it's been pretty bad with a lot of the guys, a lot of blobs in the division, a lot of guys in the rankings who just like aren't that good, and there are guys below them who I think would destroy them. But this is these are two guys who prove themselves in the UFC so far. Two guys who are good heavyweights. They add meaning to the division. And we want to see this fight. I want to see this fight. That's why I put it on this card here. Now for the co-main event, this is gonna get a little bit boring because but this is bound to happen. She's bound to fight, and the co-main event for this card I put here is gonna be Valentina Shevchenko versus Natalia Silva. One reason for this fight is Natalia Silva is literally she is the number contender for the women's flyweight belt. Like it's her time to get the belt, bro. It's her time. Obviously, we want to see Alexa Grasso here eventually, but she lost, bro. So we gotta get over that. She lost that. She'll be back though. She's fighting like Manon Ferrat on I forgot what card it is, but she's fighting her. But anyways, to me, bro, this is gonna be a snooze fest, bro. Valentina Shevchenko. These past couple years, Shevchenko's put on some sleepers, bro. Some sleepers. And every single time, she's always a co-main event, bro, on a fight. I mean, some of the fights aren't her fault, but like majority of those fights, so boring. The last fight I remember that was on UFC 322, JDM versus Islam. She fought Zhang Wei Li. That fight was boring, like snooze fest, so boring. Barely any strikes, mostly just her like holding Zhang Wei Li in position. I get it, Wei Li should get position, but like still, bro, like come on, man, you gotta like it's a championship fight, bro. But like the only good part about Valentina Shevchenko's fights is like when she fought Alexa Grasso, those are all the fights were always entertaining, always fun to watch. Maybe like one of those fights was kind of like boring, but overall, like that was a good trilogy. But Shevchenko is not a fun like fighter to me, but she's not like fun to watch anymore. Like not even anymore. Like even before, before all these like talking about people calling her boring and all that, she was never really a fighter like that. It was like, oh my god, like she's still one of the best women's fighters ever. So many title defenses. She lost the belt, got it back. Such a good fighter. But she just to me she's a terrorist to the sport, bro. And she's versing Natalia Silva. This fight is bound to happen. This fight is going to happen eventually. I mean, it's basically confirmed because Natalia Silva is the more contender. She's supposed to be fighting Shevchenko. It makes sense. Silva hasn't lost in the UFC. She's coming for one against Rose Namajunas on UFC 324 card. I would say that was a pretty nice win, dominant win. Outstruck her. He's a lot of leg kicks in that fight as well. Took her down, I think once too, but But I think to me, Natalia Silva this fight will be pretty good. I do think Silva is probably gonna lose this fight because Shevchenko, like, it's just like now Silva is not a bad grappler at all by any means, but in this fight, it odds are against her. Shevchenko's gonna hold her down, just keep her position, just hug her, just rack up control time to win the fight. But like 50, Shevchenko's like done it so many times where she like 50-45s, like 50-46, all those like so many times in fights because she's holding position on people. It's so boring. But this fight's gonna happen whether you like it or not. So just prepare, bro. Boys, prepare, because we're going to see this news. But anytime you see Shevchenko or most women's fights, not most, you know what, half and half. If you see a couple women's fights on a card, bro, and you look and you see Valentina Shevchenko, you see like I don't like there's a bunch of women's fighters who just such are snooze, bro. They put me to sleep, dude. But anyways, let's move on. When we get to the rest of the fights on the main card, I wouldn't say they're really in order, and neither the prelims, but like I'm I just made like a random order for now. This is not in the order it should be, but like the main event coming, I think the next fight of this is in order. But other than that, every other fight is not in order. Next fight for your featured fight, it's gonna be my boy Josh Hokit versus Sergey Pavlovich. Now this fight makes all too sense. Obviously Josh Hokit is making his way up to Pereira. That fight, like we will see this fight happen. I'm telling you, bro. The UFC, Dana, matchmakers, they need to, get in the works. Like I think after Josh Hokit fights again, and he fights another top ranked heavyweight, and to me, if he beats Sergey Pavlovich, you gotta start making that, Pereira versus Hokit fight. I'm just saying, man, that fight is a good fight. It's a good fight, entertaining fight. The two don't like each other. They've been talking trash since like before. I think probably like even before the White House card, they're still talking trash. Especially Hokit, but like I mean that's Hokit's gimmick. That's what he does. That's why he's so entertaining, and he's good. He's also a good fighter too. He's also a guy who I mean Pavlovich too. Pavlovich's kind of more one-sided, but both these guys, just like how Siragan and Tomasma belong heavyweight, they belong heavyweight too. They have meetings at the division. But anyways, this fight makes all too much sense. I mean, look at the rankings really. There's Walter Cortez Acosta. Like if you look at the top 10 rankings, there's Acosta. He's fighting Curtis Blades, Sergey Spivak. He's fighting on the Rodriguez versus Hernandez card. Rizvan Cunha just got off of a win against Tyler Fortune, but he won't be fighting Josh Hokit. That fight to me wouldn't make the most sense. I mean, it's possible, but like I don't think he will fight Josh Hokit. And then Ante DeLegio was supposed to fight Johnny Walker. He'll probably get canceled, so he's kind of an asterisk right now. And then we have other guys like Rakic, Walter, like guys who just fought, really. And then we have guys above, Hokit are Pavlovich. Pavlovich's 3, Hokit's 4. This fight makes sense. And Volkov's 2, but Volkov should not be fighting Hokit. Volkov is actually in contention for the belt. So I think after, Cyril Gane gets his shot, Volkov goes, then this fight happens, then Hokit and Pavlovich fight. Hokit makes his way up to the belt. And I think, bro, I'm telling you, Pereira goes to heavyweight, he has to fight Josh Hokit. He has to, bro. He has to. I'm telling you, bro. But to me, this fight, I feel like Sergey Pavlovich, like Josh Hokit is probably one of the quickest heavyweight. He probably is the quickest heavyweight in the division. Like he's such a good, like that's what makes him so good. That's how he beat Derek Lewis, bro. Because his quickness, the speed he has on him. He's a really good wrestler. He's a brawler, bro. We saw in the Curtis Blades fight. He was brawling with Curtis Blades. That's probably a fight of the year, bro, for a reason. Probably the best heavyweight fight we've ever seen. Pavlovich, another good fighter, coming from against Taliesin Teixeira in May, I'm pretty sure. On the UFC Macau card, which is I mean he knocked him out in round 1, bro. He just like Taliesin Teixeira is a kind of a fraud. He's definitely a fraud, bro. But to me, Pavlovich, he's beaten a lot of the top guys, bro. He's beaten Blades, he's beaten Bam Bam, he's beaten Derek Lewis in the past. Recent wins, I would say more recent, like Waldo. He beat Waldo. He beat Jairzinho. He lost to Volkov and Aspinall, okay, but like he had a title shot at one time before against Aspinall. He lost obviously, but I truly think Pavlovich has a chance, and he has he's a chance to come back and win the belt. Has a chance, bro. Has some nice wins. He's dominated a bunch of guys in heavyweight. Those 2 recent losses he had in the past couple of years against like Volkov and Aspinall. Those are fair losses though. Those are 2 guys who are really good. One's a champion, one's the number 2 contender in the division. But to me, I just think this fight, like Pavlovich is gonna need to use ground, like his wrestling, something like that, to stop Josh Hokit, because Josh Hokit is either gonna beat him in the speed category in terms of like how fast he is. The striking is fine with Hokit. He can submit, bro. He definitely can put Pavlovich in a submission. We've seen him getting, on the ground with people in submissions, and obviously the Derek Lewis armbar thing was a joke, but like you saw him, once he got Derek Lewis down, he was definitely looking for submission, but the first rounds by the end, he was joking around. But still, this is a good fight. This fight should be made. Definitely should be made. Let Volkov chill. He'll fight for the belt soon after Cyril gone. And then after this, when this fight hopefully happens, as it should, then we're gonna see. And then the Blades and Waldo fight is gonna happen soon. Like like Haley's gonna be shaking up a lot in the rankings like very soon. Like next like 2-3 months. Obviously, it's still a trash division, but still, a lot of people are gonna be moving around for sure. But this fight is definitely a fight to make for sure, and it should be on this card because Hoke is fresh, Pavla is fresh still. Make it happen. Next up on the main card, I would say. Now, recently, this fight has been in the works. I did make this fight with Peyton Talbot and Figgy. I made it already before, the rumors were coming out about, this fight being in the works. Bro, how many people have been like, I don't understand, bro. Peyton Talbot has, like, I've been wanting him to fight for months now. We all have. He's a good fighter. He's exciting. He has some like uniqueness to him. That's why a lot of people like him. That's fair, cool. But like people in the flyweight division have been ducking him, bro, and I understand why. But at the same time, bro, it's no point ducking him. And Vicky, bro, please, bro, make this fight official because I'm glad Davison Figueiredo is gonna step in and fight Talbot. Obviously he's on a decline. He's lost like his last 4 out of his last 5. Like his only win in the past like 5 fights like on Montel Jackson, but he lost. But to be fair, he's lost against some good guys. He's lost against out of his 5 fights like Peter Yan, current champ, Corey Sagan, ranked top 10, Umar top 10, Song Yudong top like all good guys in bantamweight, all really good fighters. And I just think this fight, Peyton Talbot is that type of guy who he just destroys you, bro. I mean, it's really striking. Like he definitely can submit you for sure. We've seen him. Like he's not a bad grappler at all. But he's so dangerous on the feet. Like the power he has within him is just insane. I remember he destroyed Henry Cejudo in that one fight. His only loss is to Randy Barcelos, right? Tough loss, okay. But I mean, he just got dominated on the ground. Like he getting taken down, but that's like a younger Talbot. I mean, that was like a year ago. But still, in this fight, I definitely think he can, definitely strike with Figueiredo for sure, and they're gonna outstrike him. This fight is really not gonna be really, revolving around on the ground at all. I think Figueiredo could use some submission games if he needs to, but overall, this fight is literally going to be a strike fest, bro. Just like how the Cejudo fight was, kind of, when it was like mostly striking, and Peyton Talbot was destroying him. This fight's also gonna be another strike fight, and it's in the works right now. Hopefully, it gets confirmed because we want to see Peyton Talbot fight. I think I'm pretty sure, yeah, he hasn't fought all. His last fight was literally right before 2026 happened, and he hasn't fought all year. We want to see him fight. He's a very active fighter, but people are just turning down fights for him, and we just want to see him fight. And I'm glad this fight's in the works. Figueiredo will definitely take this fight for sure. Hopefully it all works out. This is a good fight to make. Should be in the main card. Talbot has main card potential. He brings in fans, he brings in revenue. Like he's good all around, bro. Like what you need. He's versing, a legend in bantamweight. And Figueiredo, a legend, not in bantamweight, but a legend in general in the UFC, in the sport. Davison Figueiredo, he's a legend, bro. He's done it. He's done most of it all. Flyweight, one of the flyweight goats. Not bad in bantamweight, but not the best. I mean, he's done it all, man. I think this should be his last fight. He's 38. Losing streak right now. Should be his last fight against Talbot. A good way to end it off. I mean, kind of a bad because Talbot's probably going to finish him. But anyways, good fight. Let's move on. Next fight. We have now, the reason for this fight is because obviously, Kevin Holland was supposed to fight Jacoby Smith on the Oklahoma City card like a couple weeks ago. Didn't happen. He got injured. Blah, blah, blah. Now that fight's been called off. I do kind of want to see Jacoby Smith and Kevin Holland fight still because that's a really good fight, and Smith called him out too. He wants this fight, right? But at the same time, Kevin Holland does have unfinished business with D-Rod. Obviously, D-Rod just got slammed out on UFC Belgrade against Eros Medic. He got knocked in like 30 seconds. Bad loss. He had a full training camp for that fight too, which is insane. I mean, he kind of did. He's in jail, but anyways, this fight to me could be, the fight, Obviously, the way it's placed right here, it's on the main card, but this fight should not be a main card. I think this fight should be the last fight on the prelims to open the main card, or main card opener for sure. Because Kevin Holland, a lovable guy, active fighter. D-Rod, another guy a lot of people like, kind of old, washed a little bit. But this fight, if Kevin Holland wants it, D-Rod wants it, make it happen. Kevin Holland versus D-Rod too. Sorry, gotta say, this is a very good fight. Two welterweight guys, been around for some time. Kevin Holland, two guys are kind of active still, especially Kevin Holland. He's been injured, but still, good fight to make. This should be the fight to open the main card, or be the last fight of the prelims. Next fight, bam. Now this fight's already been made. Teba Gautier versus Roman Kopylov. This fight is gonna be a banger. I'm telling you, bro. And now people are saying Teba's gonna, knock out Roman Kopylov. I don't think people understand. Roman Kopylov is one of the toughest middleweights in the division, bro. He does not really get like. I mean, he's been finished before in the UFC. Like he's been submitted. I remember he lost to Fluffy Fernandez, right? But what I'm trying to say is he's never been knocked out. Gautier's not gonna be the first guy to knock him out. I promise you, bro. Gautier is nice. But I feel like people really overrate him to be like, oh my god, like this guy's gonna really like he should be in the top 5 rankings. He can be anybody in the top 5. He can rival Sean Strickland, rival comes out. It's like no, bro, he can't do that. He would have a hard time against those guys. And Roman Kopylov is a tough fight, specifically because of those leg kicks. I mean, he's a bunch of knockout wins too. He's a pretty nasty finisher, bro. Always looking for the finish in his fights. He tries. I mean, think about it. If Paulo Costa, who who's still really good, still at that point he was still in middleweight. That was the last middleweight fight. And if RoboCop couldn't finish Kopylov, then why would Atiba Gautier fought? I mean, why would Atiba Gautier finish Kopylov, bro? I'm telling you, Kopylov won't get finished here. It's gonna be Gautier's toughest fight. I do think Kopylov can pull this off. This fight is very close, closer than people think. A good fight. It's already been made, but obviously I added this fight. I could see this fight in the main card, honestly, bro. But this fight realistically should be on the prelims, like around the Kevin Holland D-Rod fight, probably right, probably in front of it or after. Like I don't know. But this is a good fight. I've been waiting for Atiba Gautier to fight. I think he just finished. Who did he finish again? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot. No, he finished. What's his name? Ozzy Diaz. Yeah, Ozzy Diaz. Such a nasty KO. But we are waiting for Atiba Gautier to fight. We gotta fight. This is gonna be one of the best fights that he's ever had. Tough fight, and it's gonna no finish in this fight. It's gonna be by decision. I'm telling you. But anyways, let's move on. Next fight. Bang! Another confirmed fight. We have good old Mick Parkin versus our boy, our favorite light heavyweight slash heavyweight guy, Johnny Walker. Now, originally Johnny Walker was supposed to fight Ante Delija on I believe it was the UFC Belgrade card. I'm pretty sure. I'm either that card or the Abu Dhabi card, one of those cards. I'm pretty sure the Abu Dhabi card actually. He was supposed to fight Ante Delija, didn't happen. I forgot. I think Delija dropped it or something. Forgot. But this fight to me is kind of better. Mick Parkin, ranked heavyweight. This is Johnny Walker's first fight in heavyweight, by the way. First fight in heavyweight. I think he will do good, bro. He fits in heavyweight. He definitely this. I mean, this is not really the biggest weight gain for him at all. He's been light heavyweight all his career. But this is definitely a good first fight for Johnny Walker in heavyweight. I do think he has a huge chance of beating Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin is one of those. I mean, Mick Parkin's not. To me, Mick Parkin's not really that good. I'll say he's not really like crazy. I mean, like he's not many finishes in the UFC either. He lost to Marcin Tybura, who's 40, bro. So that's very questionable. But I do think Johnny Walker gets rid of this blob, bro, for sure. I think Johnny Walker definitely would win. He would whoop Mick Parkin to me. To me, he would. That's what I'm seeing, bro. To me, I would think he would destroy Johnny Walker. I don't know. He would destroy Big Parkin. But this is a nice fight. This fight's been made for a while. Like this is the first fight announced on 332. So, but this is a definitely a good fight. Very interesting fight. And yeah, let's move on. Next fight. Another fight's been in the works. Martin Vittori versus oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Nasser. It's oh my god, cause I know this guy, but it's kind of hard. Hold on. Give me 1 second, bro. I know this is like some casual like stuff, bro. Casual like shit, bro. But hear me out, bro. Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. Come on, hold up. Just give me 1 minute. It's like Nasser Abdirav. He's been in the UFC for some time. Oh yeah. Ismail Not Nardiv. It's hard. I think it's hard to say. I don't know why I'm blanking on him. I just don't really care for this fight. That's probably the reason why. I don't really care for these two fighters. I mean, Averdiv, or Nardiv. This is second stint in the UFC. Oh, I do remember he fought Ryan Loder. Yeah, I do remember that. But it's like I don't really care for this fight. Martin Vittori is one of the most fraudulent title contenders I've ever seen in my life. He was never that good. He's on a 4-5 losing streak, bro. He lost to some top guys in middleweight. He's lost to Bruno Ferreira, bro, and he's not even a ring fighter. That's a questionable loss. But he lost to Brandon Allen, got destroyed. Ramos Roman they lost to Jared Cannonier. It's like Martin Vittori, what do you do, bro? I think it's time to not he shouldn't retire, but just start giving him easy fights. This fight could be easy. I don't know. Pretty evenly matched up. And also, Vittori has no finish in the UFC, really. Like, he barely finishes anybody in the UFC. Like, he doesn't suck completely, but he's still pretty bad. And this fight, to me, I could care less who wins. I kind of want to see Vittori get a win, not gonna lie, because he's been in a bad losing streak, bro. But, regardless, man, I do think that, the solid fight on prelims, people probably won't really care because it's Martin Vittori in 2026, like, who cares? But, good fight, or solid fight. But we can just move on. I don't really care for this. Next up, another confirmed fight on UFC 332. That being Alden Correa versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. I talked about this fight before on going over fight news. This fight is another really good prelim fight. Two up and coming boxer guys, very quick and speedy fighters. Obviously, Alden Correa, a very questionable win over Stuart Nicholas because he struggled with the wrestling, bro. He struggled with getting up, with takedowns and all that. He won the fight, sure, but a very disappointing, performance in that win. Versus a guy like Emmanuel Rodriguez, who's a Emmanuel Rodriguez to me one of the quickest fighters in the UFC. Nice because he's at flyweight, just because he's 5'4", like 120 something, whatever. But still, he's so quick, lightning fast strikes. We saw him fight before. To me, this fight's pretty evenly matched, but I have a slight edge for Emmanuel Rodriguez. Good fight all around. Two upcoming guys on a prelim, they can show out. And I'm mark my words, Emmanuel Rodriguez will be contending for the belt. Give him give him 2 years, bro. He'll be up there, bro. He'll be up. I mean, by then I'll be in the rankings, but he'll be up there in the top 5, top 3, looking for a belt, bro. But let's move on. Here we have another confirmed fight, a last-minute made fight. This is the fight I was talking about right before I started recording this video. We have Court McGee, who this is the last fight in the UFC. Court McGee's a long time UFC fighter in the welterweight division. He's had probably a little over 20 fights in the UFC. Yes, he's had a lot of losses. He lost to some pretty good guys, some tough guys. I mean, but regardless, bro, this fight is against Court McGee, bro. For one, I do think his chin isn't there. He's 41, too. Primarily a grappler. I think Eric Nolan can wrestle with you, but Eric Nolan primarily is a guy who strikes on the feet. Obviously, he fought Farman. It's like Farman Hassanov. Farman Hassanov. and he got out wrestled. That was a pretty, kind of a boring fight to like an up and coming guy. I mean, they fed him to up and coming guy making his UFC debut. Very kind of boring, and Eric Nolan couldn't really do much. He was hugging him really. But I think Eric Nolan is still a pretty good, like, to me, he has potential, and this is a very gimme winnable fight, bro. I'm telling you, he's gonna kill Court McGee like round 1. Court McGee, you were solid. You're sure trying to fight, but I have some bad news for you, bro. You're gonna get put in a blender, bro. And listen, bro, Eric Nolan, his first two fights in super tough. He versed Baisengar Susurkayev, who's another up-and-coming guy who's really good. And he was another up-and-coming guy in the UFC in welterweight, that being Farman Hassanov. Lost those 2 fights, but Eric Nolan is still a KO guy, bro. Look at his resume. He has some grappling to him. He has wrestling to him for sure, and he has a striking to him. And just like his nickname, bro, Nighttime. It's gonna be nighttime for Court McGee too, bro. Watch, I'm telling you, he's gonna for Eric Nolan. But this is a solid prelim fight, on the early prelims for sure. Next fight and the last fight on this card that I've made. This to me is a very interesting matchup. I feel like this fight should happen. We are gonna have here. We're gonna have here a very, this is not a bad prelim opener at all. A very solid matchup here between 2 solid fighters, not bad fighters. That being Uran Satibaldiev versus Billy Alakana. This fight to me, we have a good, nice grappling lightweight with Billy Alakana. And then we have another guy who's also, he has submission wins, but a guy primarily, finishes people on the feet, punches. That being Uran Satibaldiev. This is a nice opener to this card. I really think this fight go either way. I'm not really going to do predictions too much for this card. I mean, some fights can predict easily, but this fight to me is either way. I do think Uran has the advantage a little bit, the striking, but other than that, this fight is pretty good. Pretty fun card opener. Not really much to say. I don't really care for that. I put this on here just because like these 2 guys. I don't know. I just put this on here. I think Uran needs to fight because he hasn't fought all year, and over a year basically. And then Billy Alakana, I forgot. I'm pretty sure he fought on the. Yeah, he fought on the what's it called, on the Volk Australia card, which makes sense. He's he's from there. But this is a nice opener, solid opener. But anyways, boys, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed this card builder. I tried to do the best I could. Try to make fights people want to see. Try to make some nice matchups that are that won't be boring, snooze fest. Anyways, man, end of the video. If you enjoy, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys. Peace.